first episode of Lipstick and Listings. I'm Sarah Breeden, realtor, mom, believer, negotiator, and your go-to girl when it's time to make a move. This podcast is where real estate meets real life, and today I want to start with the heart behind it all. Because real estate isn't just contracts and closings, it's life decisions, family conversations, excitement, sometimes stress, and sometimes fierce negotiations and glossy lipstick. I didn't get into real estate just to sell houses. I got into it because I realized how emotional homeownership really is. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions most families will ever make. It affects stability, wealth, legacy, and I take that very seriously. When someone hires me, they're not just asking me to unlock doors and put up a sign. They're trusting me with their future. I don't just sell houses. I help guide families through one of the biggest decisions of their life. Now, if you know me, you know my faith is very important to me. I don't walk into appointments quoting scripture, but I absolutely pray over big decisions. I pray for wisdom before negotiations. I pray for peace when deals get stressful. Because real estate can get emotional real fast. There are bidding wars, inspection surprises, late night calls about numbers on paper, and in those moments, I lean on my faith. Not in a loud way, but in a grounding way. Faith reminds me that my integrity matters more than my commission. And that perspective changes how I do business. And then there's the family behind it all. Because yes, I'm a realtor, but I'm also a mom. I've taken listing calls from the baseball field, written contracts at the kitchen table, answered emails while waiting in the car at practice. Sometimes, I think women just feel like we have to choose. Choose ambition or choose to be present. Choose a career or choose a family. But I don't believe it has to be either or. My kids see the hustle. They also see the heart behind it. They see that women can be strong, strategic, and deeply rooted in faith. And that matters to me more than anything. Because this isn't just about the deals that I close today. It's about the example that I'm setting long term. Now, let's talk about how lipstick gets into this. Let me just say this clearly. Being polished, being kind, and wearing a little bit of lipstick does not mean lightweight. I can absolutely negotiate fiercely for my clients. Do not mistake grace for weakness. I study the Augusta County market. I know the numbers. I know when to push, when to pivot. You can be warm and wise, feminine and formidable. And that's what Lipstick and Listings represents. I started this podcast because there's a gap between the headlines in real life, between Zillow and local expertise, and between hustle culture and value-driven business. Here, we're going to talk about all of it. Market updates, buying strategies, selling smart, and what happens behind the scenes. So whether you're buying, selling, dreaming, or just trying to build something meaningful, I'm glad you're here. This is Lipstick and Listings for real estate, where it meets real life. You can be polished and powerful, kind and competitive, faith-filled and financially smart. So until next time, stay glossy, my friends.